Hey, thanks for joining me. Travis from Knife Joker. Today coming at you with a couple new Liong Mah design knives. Well, one model, the Liong Mah Field Duty. These Field Duty obviously come in a pouch. Newer model from Liong, and we're going to check them out here side by side. Just do the unpouching right here on the camera. You know, I haven't even handled one yet. So let's just see what we get here together on the camera. Nice little cleaning cloth. Of course, you know, the pouch, little Velcro badge for those tactical Velcro guys. Yeah, there it is. Still in the plastic. Like I said, I haven't even handled one. So let's see what we're getting into. Yeah, they always come sealed originally from China, really, from the Riot factory. These knives being made for Liong Mah design in China at the Riot factory. So never, said it again, never even held one in my hand. And first impressions, well, if you watch the channel, you know I like big, beefy folders. And that feels really, really good. With that, I guess, called Spidey flick opening right out the gate. I'm kind of used to that, so yeah, it went well. And there it was 2 times already, the Spidey flick opening on the Liong Mah. But you see why I'm doing that. There's no flipper tab at all, no opening tab on this knife. Let's get just an overview of it at first. The bead blast titanium. You can see that little jimped area there on the back for the heel of your hand. That lanyard tube there in the back, kind of reminiscent of the eraser. A little bit, the back spacer and the lanyard tube. Feels little heavy and light at the same time, if that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't. I'm not sure how it does that. That milling, there's just changing curve all the way around, more milling, different milling there. So yeah, just round it off. I mean, overall, when you look in pretty much detail, quite a few different milling patterns and radiuses or curves made there to make it just seem, you know, seamlessly round or, you know, not sharp. Here on the blade, see that jimping? You can see it's kind of that one-way jimping that Liong has started to use, angled back. So, yeah, getting into that jimping, you know, pushing forward, you have some traction, but pulling back, pretty smooth. And wow, that works really well. I knew the concept, but I hadn't felt it. Well, I said that, told just now. Try not to say that again. You see that light stonewashing there on the flat and on the spine of the blade. But the rough satin grind there on that Bowler M390 blade. Just right out of the box. Let's open the other one up. Let's open the other one up. There we go. Well, so once again, same presentation. Gives you a little different look right there with the clip sitting on top of the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber scales, marble carbon fiber scales. The screws right through the marble carbon fiber, holding them on. You can see that ceramic ball clip. Kind of a newer design, I think. He has a couple similar clips on these new models. But once again, kind of that big ceramic ball. And it works great. Riot's used it on quite a few knives now. That's definitely a different look there with the carbon fiber on the rough jimping part of the heel of the knife. You see that marble carbon fiber. Every single one's gonna look slightly different, of course. And that one looks nice. I feel like I have seen it before. I feel like, I don't know, like it's mine. But no, just opened it. Got a couple of similar carbon fiber ones, and this just fits right in. So, man, I'm starting to warm up to the knife already. I guess I like big knives. So, large size hand, I guess. Large size glove or whatever. There it is in hand. Let's get a measurement on one of these. Well, it is a 4-inch blade, I know that. So, still, I like to put the tape out there. Every once in a while, you measure a knife and it's not actually what they say it is. So, I mean, yeah, 4-inch blade, almost 4-inch blade. Of course, they say 9 inches overall. And I've got about 8.5. Well, yeah, 8.5-ish. Let's check this one. Is it different? Just a little over 8.5. Yes, I think they said 9-inch blade online, so that's why I like to just get the tape out and measure it myself. I mean, so it's weird to get the tape out every time, but I don't know, sometimes the specs are just different. I mean, if anything's gonna be different, it could be the weight. You wouldn't think the length would be changing too much. Let's see how much this titanium one is. 5.56. Right around 5.5 ounces there. Let's check this one out. See if there's any difference. Yeah, a good half-ounce difference on the carbon fiber, replacing that titanium. So yeah, there's quite a bit of difference on the look of the two, on the weight of the two, kind of on the feel of the two, with this scale overlay, scale inlay, overlay, bolster look. Definitely a little bit different. If you want to deploy the knife, I'd say, well, of course I haven't tried it. With my thumb here on the front of the knife, so being a big knife, there's a lot of area there to keep my fingers off the lock bar. Let's see if I can deploy it with my thumb on the front side of the knife. I mean, I'm not really having much luck. I'm not forcing it, but not having much luck, of course. That's super easy. I don't know if I'm pushing on that. I'm not trying to push that lock bar because that'll push the detent ball right in there. You'll never open it. So keep my fingers off there. Yeah, I must have been. Oh yeah. So just keep your fingers off there. You can open it on the front side with your thumb. Does not feel as good as opening it like this. And it's natural for me. I guess I've done it, I don't know, 10,000 times. It's probably not an exaggeration. You know, if you're watching a long movie, you might do it. You know. Sometimes we play with our knives, and we open them more times than we really have to. Let's see if there's any difference with this bolster overlay inlay style knife. Of course, it's going to open the same way like that. Just super easy with this large knife to do that. Plenty of area, plenty of real estate to grab the knife anywhere you want and just pop it open. But here's what I was wondering, you know, now that I can't push on that lock bar, is it going to be easier to open with the carbon fiber one? And well, I have to say yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's not really easier. Well, I just said it was easier, and then I said it's not easier. Don't get me wrong. If you keep your fingers way back, it's the same. But, you know, if you get your fingers on that lock bar at all, it's just not going to open to where on the bolster knife here, you can pretty much be lackadaisical and just grab it anywhere and get away with that lazy thumb opening. Which, again, to me, when you're holding that big knife, it's pretty easy to flip that open and not use the thumb. Either way, whichever's comfortable, but at least you have a couple options on opening it. You know, some people were saying no flipper tab is crazy, right? And well, it's not that crazy. A little bit crazy. There's a lot of flippers. It seemed like Liong this year has done a few different knives. You know, he has a new lineup, I guess, really, for 2019, and there's a few different knives with some different locks, some different opening methods, and so forth that, you know, you've already seen or you're gonna see coming from him. This, you know, being one, no flipper tab. And I believe he has some with no actual lock either, just like a slip joint. Well, we'll get a side-by-side comparison maybe of another knife, possibly. There's something that reminded me of it really was the Toshi Varuka baby machine, because it's a beautiful knife to open with that same little flick maneuver. And once again, you know, there's no inlay overlay, no bolster effect. So if you try to open it with your thumb, it's just impossible. And a little smaller, so if you keep your fingers way back, I mean, I can't do it. I'm pushing on the lock bar. So some people don't like this knife just for that one reason. But if you flick a knife, if you like to flick one, once again, it's a little smaller. That one's easier to flick open, but once you get that knife in the right position, it's just super easy to flick open. Of course, I'm not reviewing the baby machine now, just kind of comparing the flick action of the two. More real estate, easier to flick open, and even with the titanium one, more real estate to keep your fingers off that lock bar and get the knife open. Maybe do one more comparison here. Some more 4-inch Liong Mah knives. There's not going to be too much of a blade length comparison since it's another 4-inch Liong Mah. And once again, I just thought it might be interesting to look at somewhat of a similar knife, similar look. This one's not really a flip knife, it's a flip knife. I said that eraser kind of has that same look there on the back as the new Field Duty. But I thought it'd be fun to get a side-by-side comparison, maybe just of these 4-inch knives. Supposed to be all 4-inch blades from Liong, and see if we see any differences. Obviously they all have a little bit of a different grip. This one's taller, definitely taller. Little bigger in hand. Not too much thicker, I don't think. This mostly seems taller. But you can see some of those new effects, new knife nuances that Liong has gotten into. The one-way jimping, that pivot, pretty consistent across the 3 knives there. Also the little jumped area here on the back of the spine, the handle. Pretty similar between these two. And one other similarity is that pocket clip, which I didn't mention on the new Field Duty, is reversible. A lot of knives don't have a reversible pocket clip, so Liong did start doing that reversible pocket clip, possibly with the XV. Now, he might have done it before then, but you just one screw, flip it to the other side, and he used that same technique here on the Field Duty. So if you want to carry it in your left pocket, whether you're right-handed or left-handed, doesn't matter. You carry it in a different pocket. Sometimes you want that knife facing back a different direction, and it's nice to flip the clip around so you don't put your hand down this every single time you put your hand in your pocket. So overall, never held one before. See, I said it one more time. I said I'd try not to, but I did it. Oh, I like them. Oh, I like big knives, and fit and finish. They look great. They feel really great. Problem is now, might want to keep one. I don't know if I ever even said, Bowler M390. So, just so enthralled with the overall design. Whether you're in the finger choil, which, by the way, is big enough for me to, put my finger even past the second knuckle, and I'm not cutting myself, which is pretty rare with a lot of choils these days. So this is a 50-50 choil. So You know, it's not past the, you know, a little different than say a knife like this where you have the flipper tab in the way, would be in the way of the 50/50 choil. So then you'd have your choil up here, and of course people don't want to take away the blade length, so they always make the choil so small you can't use a thing except for maybe with the tip of your finger. Well, this one's not a choil knife, but I think you're catching my drift. Without that flipper tab, you didn't have to move the choil so far onto the blade. Didn't give up much blade length to get a big enough choil to, you know, put your finger basically all the way in. Oh, highly impressed with the overall design for my large hand. Of course, last time I'll say it, I like big knives. So, thanks for joining me. You know, if you do like seeing these knives and hearing my impression of them, hit the subscribe button. And I'd appreciate it, and you'll get the notification, something new coming up. Otherwise, if you want to check out these field duties more, check them out at theknifejoker.com. We'll see you next time.